Welcome back. This is part 3 of Learn to Knit, and we are working on our new project. It is a companion to our previous project, so if you haven't checked out Learn to Purl, you might want to start there. So let's start where we left off. In our previous project, we were working with the energies of the hare. So we were exploring rebirth, intuition, and balance. And the hare we created was the original hare of Britain, the Arctic hare. That's why the hare we created was white. Well, if we read a little further in the Druid Animal Oracle, we discover that the hare was later replaced by the common brown hare, probably imported by the Romans from the plains of Central Europe. So there was some sort of challenge, and in this particular case, the common brown hare won out. So for our second project, this time using only the knit stitch, we're going to create a brown hare. One of the things that's interesting about the brown hare is that the image of the brown hare shows up in a different tarot deck, the Wildwood Tarot. Even more interesting, the Wildwood Tarot and the Druid Animal Oracle share the same illustrator. So when you put the two hares together, you see how similar they are, the major difference being in their coloring. In the Wildwood Tarot, the hare is positioned as the Queen of Bows. The suit of bows in the Wildwood Tarot is aligned with fire, so we know it's a very active suit. The Queen of Bows is said to be a companion through life, sympathetic and understanding, leading you to a deeper awareness of what is needed to bring success to your every enterprise. Wise and witty, gentle and kindly, the Queen supports you and strengthens your resolve, all of which fit so beautifully with balance, rebirth, and intuition. I find some things curious about these multiple hares. When we did the previous project using the purl stitch, and we went and worked with the hare, I tried to be very careful to use non-gender specific pronouns because I didn't want to influence how you perceived the hare. Personally, I perceived that white Arctic hare as male. I don't know why, just how I felt the vibe. These hares, these brown ones, being tagged the Queen of Bows, and even that can be tongue-in-cheek, but feels very much more feminine to me. Even more interesting is the hare appears again in the Wildwood Tarot, this time as the Two of Stones. In this card, there are two of these common brown hares, and you see them boxing. The card stands for challenge. Even more curious, those hares that box in March are female. Female hares box for domination and territorial rights to breed. So let's gather our things and get started. What are you going to need? You're going to need some yarn. The color doesn't actually matter, but in my case I used a light brown, kind of a medium tan, to create my second hare. You're going to need some stuffing. You're going to need a pair of size 8 5mm needles, knitting needles. You'll see I'm using my circulars once again. You'll need a wool or tapestry needle to do the embellishments on the eyes and nose, and a pom-pom maker. These are available in craft stores and online, or you can simply use a large-sized serving fork, and you can create some pretty professional-looking pom-poms just using that and the yarn and the tapestry needle. Got your things? Let's get going. And scissors. Don't forget the scissors like I did. Let's start with 3 deep grounding breaths. Make your slip knot. Put your needle through and step through the doorway into the realm of the Queen of Bows. Start to cast on 30 stitches, and as you do that, with respect, slowly approach her. Tell her you are a seeker. You can tell her that you've met the Arctic hare and that now you would like to work with her. You would like to explore your potential. In particular, you're curious about the challenges you might face. You can show her what you're doing, tell her what you're making, that you're creating a little totem of her that you can use on your altar or in your meditative space whenever you want to look into the energies of potential and challenge. Ask her to bless your work and to give it a little energy. And once she does, if it's okay with her, ask her permission. This is her realm, after all. Ask her if she can bring you to a place where you can observe a challenge. Follow her, and you may find that you're a little distance away in the same meadow you met her. But you hear some rustling, and as you round the bend, you see 2 female hares engaged in a boxing match. Keep a short distance away with the hare. Start to do your knitting and think about what you're watching. Is this a true challenge, or is it simply rivalry? Is it a perceived challenge? Is this challenge due to one or the other of these hares and their insecurities? Are these shadow elements? Are there shadows at play here that are coloring the way these 2 hares not only see each other, but interact with each other? How they are perceiving the other. Are they holding the mirror to each other? It is often said, and when we dig down deep enough, it is often true, that the thing that disturbs us the most in somebody else is actually the thing that disturbs us most about ourselves. Ponder that for a while and continue to work until you have a few inches on your needles. If you're now done for the day, thank the Queen of Bows and ask her to help you return to your entry point. Step back out. Take 3 grounding breaths and put your work away in your project bag. If you're continuing on, or if it's the second day, you know how to get into the realm, greet the Queen of Bows, show her how far you've gotten for her blessing again, and ask to return to that place of challenge. This time, ask her to help you explore the idea of domination and territorial rights. Are there any subconscious issues with your own peers and colleagues where maybe there's that jockeying for position A little bit of domination going on there. Being territorial. Are there common places where that happens? See if you can dig down and find out why that would be. Usually, this is more of an emotional reaction than actual ill will on the part of the other. But something about the situation is triggering a reaction in you, and that's worth exploring because that is valid. Feelings and emotions are valid. Sit with this potential situation in your head, something the Queen of Bows knows all about potential, and work a few more inches. Check along the way every once in a while to see how far you've come. Remember, if you take the bottom corner of your work and fold it up alongside the needle in a triangular shape, you'll see how far you've come and how far you need to go. It's when the two diagonal corners meet that you have the perfect square, and that's what we're going for. Sit quietly with the Queen of Bows for a while. When you're ready, once again, thank her, show her your progress on your project, and ask her to return you to your point of entry. Step through, take 3 grounding steps, and put your project away until the next session. For our final visit with the Queen of Bows, once again, greet her, ask her to take you to that place of challenge, but this time, ask her for her help. Think about the potential that lies in how you handle these challenges. The only way to handle a challenge is to stay true to yourself. Make sure you're completely in line and focused on your positive motivation, your purpose. The more clarity and focus you can gain and retain, the better your chances are of coming out on top. There's also another side to challenge. If we change the word challenge to competition, then it becomes a more beneficial situation, and one that just helps both sides to become more productive and better at whatever it is that they are challenged to do. It's that healthy competition that keeps us on our toes, that healthy competition that opens us up to the possibility of some wild and creative thought, something new. And it's in those moments that we do crown ourselves the Queen of Bows and we do access our best potential. Ask the Queen to help you see that. Continue to work until your 2 corners, your 2 diagonal corners meet. When they do, bind off all the stitches on your needle and get prepared for the finishing. Thank the Queen of Bows once again. Ask her to bring you to the entry point. Step back through and take 3 grounding breaths.